She can drive away?
As far as riding on the side of median, I prefer that as opposed to riding on to the left.
And that's why you don't make statements.
Let's go.
Do you understand the instructions
Yes,
that I explained?
sir. Yes, sir.
Is there any reason why you can't do this exercise?
I'm sorry. What am I doing?
And there's a bomb.
A bong?
Come on. My urination is about to find a nation. Anybody ever tell you need a facelift on your saggy ass chin?
I'll keep that in mind, man.
As you should.
Welcome back. We've got Megan and Kelly and myself reacting to a video here. We've never seen this one before, but I promise you we will pause along the way. We will talk about it. We'll tell you the right, we'll tell you the wrong, and you do the same in the comments.
Oh, damn door.
We'll see.
Step out of the car. You have to.
Yeah, I will say that if I had to wear a body-worn camera, there would be a lot of awkward.
Oh, shit.
I'm the most ungraceful person ever. Like, I run into the door frames a lot. I'm like, ow, why did I do that?
New rule at DDT, all attorneys need to wear body-worn camera.
Oh, no.
Just for the content.
Yeah, so many awkward moments for me.
Okay. That doesn't matter. So are you going to step out of the vehicle or not, ma'am? Because I'm stopping for a lawful reason, okay? You're all over the daggone roadway and you're speeding, so step out of the vehicle, please. If I want to see me another. You're going to step out, I'm going to physically remove you from this vehicle, ma'am.
And the reason behind it is what?
I'm going to tell you again, Pennsylvania versus Mill States. Listen to me.
Pennsylvania.
That's case law, young lady.
But you're asking.
Pennsylvania versus Mill States. Are you listening to me or no?
Okay, good night. Y'all have a good night.
Don't do it.
She can drive
If you
away.
do it, you will go to jail. Step out of the car. Step out of the vehicle, ma'am. Step out of the vehicle, ma'am. I try to explain to you. Step out of the vehicle, ma'am. I'm trying to tell you. You're not listening to me. Again, I'll tell you one more time. You're all over the roadway. You're moving at a high rate of speed. So I need you to step out of the vehicle. Step over there. I'll close it. Go over there.
Yeah. So the officer, was right. If it's a lawful order, then legally you need to get out of the car. Does he have to give you the reason? No, he actually doesn't.
The other thing is that we've recommended this before, but I don't recommend fighting with the officer like this. Now he's super aggressive. He's mad. He's calling for backup. If it was me in this situation, I would have gotten out of the car. If I didn't think it was lawful thereafter, then that's something that you can have your attorney fight in court. But this kind of behavior, in my opinion, leads to like a dangerous situation.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get not wanting to get out of the car. I get, not even. I get wanting to have a reason. Why'd you stop me in the first place? Why do you want me out of the car? What happens next? Like, I get it.
I do feel like the officer said. He said, "You're all over the doggone road."
Right. So it's a tough situation if you're the driver. Like, you want those answers, but legally speaking, he doesn't have to give you those answers right now.
And there's a less hostile way to get them. That's the other
There's
thing.
a less hostile way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like, so why are you pulling me over? And the reason is you give somebody that much attitude. I mean, I'm not a cop. You got an attitude with me like that? Like, you want to fight? What's up?
Yeah, kind of like the idea that you catch more flies with honey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it me or does she remind you at all of the woman who had all the laws in her backseat?
Oh, yeah, from a long time ago? Well, maybe that's where this is going. I don't know. Although, no. Those people who, think they know the law and don't, they cite it, real early and often and really incorrectly. Yeah. So there's no way that if she even knew anything at all, she couldn't hold it in. How do you tell if someone went to Notre Dame? Just wait and they'll tell you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same thing with sovereign citizens, right?
Yeah, or vegan.
Yeah. Or vegan. Yes, that's a great one too. All right. So what happens next after she got out of the car on her own, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it took some convincing, but just to level set here, I shouldn't see, at least based on what she did so far, I shouldn't see a resisting charge or anything like that.
No, what I would expect to see is a pat down and then maybe, a discussion about her actions, conducting an investigation as to why she was all over the doggone road, why she was speeding.
Right.
But I don't see any reason right now to search. Like you said, I don't see any resisting charge.
No.
Get your hands out of your pocket. Walk over there. How much you had to drink tonight?
1 beer. That is about all that I had to drink tonight.
What was the size of that one beer?
It was the size of 1 beer, sir.
Is it a can? Is it
It
a
was the
glass?
size
Is it a
of one
bottle?
can of one beer.
Okay, what kind of beer was it?
I'm going to be quite frank with you. I don't even go out that often. This is the first night that I've gone out in a long time. I'm a single mother.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know how it was the size of a regular beer can when I get a soda can. It was that size. I don't.
What was that at? What is that? At a friend's house? Was it at a bar? Was it at a restaurant?
It was about 3-4 hours ago.
You can't answer the
at
question that's being
Booker's
asked of
in
her.
DeKalb.
Okay. So you had one can of beer.
Yes.
You don't know.
Does she have to answer any of these questions? So we said she has to get out of the car because it was a lawful order. Get out of the car. Does she have to answer these questions?
No, she doesn't have to answer if she's been drinking, where she's coming from, where she's going, anything like that. This is something that we talk about a lot, that you're providing evidence to be used against you in court. So he said, have you been drinking? She said, yes. Now he's asking her, what kind, what was the size, where you're coming from, and she's not even answering the questions that are being asked. She said, what kind of beer, where were you coming from? And she says it was 3 or 4 hours ago. That wasn't the question. So that's something that the state is going to use against her, that she can't even answer the questions that are being asked of her.
Yep, exactly. I just want to get back to one more time, the average person. This is a tough situation. The average person doesn't know. That's kind of what we're doing here on this channel, is educating people on this. You get basically told two things by a cop. One of them is you got to get out of the car, and we're saying yes, she did have to do that. The second thing is the officer's saying, answer these questions for me, essentially. But we're saying, no, she doesn't have to do that. The average person may not realize there's a difference between those actions and with following the lawful order and the statements, which are statements against your own interest. There's a lot of sort of legal things at play here, and the average person just may not know that.
Yeah, and if it was me and I was consuming alcohol and I got pulled over, having an attitude right off the gate, not the best strategy. Now he's wondering, is her whole attitude towards me, her driving, now I smell an odor, is that all because she's under the influence? So if it was me, I would be polite, but I would also assert my rights. I would get out of the car when asked. I would say, respectfully, officer, I'm not going to be answering your questions, and I'm not going to be doing your tests. I probably would get arrested and be charged with a DUI, but then my attorney would have a way better chance at trial of defending me because I didn't give the officer or the state evidence to use against me in court.
Yes, I agree. That's exactly what I would do too. Of course, I wouldn't drink and drive, but that's exactly what I would do in that situation, or any similar situation. Maybe you weren't drinking and driving. Maybe you just don't want cops rummaging through your vehicle, right? Or whatever the case may be, where you don't want to engage with the police all that often. There's a lot of good reasons for that. Doesn't necessarily mean you're drinking and driving.
What kind it was approximately 3 to 4 hours ago at the Booker's bar.
Correct.
Okay. How long after that beer did you drive?
I had that beer about 3 to 4 hours ago. I didn't start driving until about an hour ago. And the only reason I was driving was to take my girlfriend back home. And now I'm driving back out this way to take myself home.
Did you get to take her home already?
Yes, I did.
All right.
She's in the trunk.
Do you know what time it is?
I know it's after midnight. I know that. I'll be quite frank with you. I haven't been keeping my eye on the clock. But I know
3:45
my
a.m.
father is with my son, and that I was taking my girlfriend home. That's about all that I had kept myself on.
So, to explain to you again what I explained to you earlier before we got into that whole hoopla situation, may I say, Lee, you telling me no, it's a arrestable offense, so don't ever.
Okay, I've had
what I was trying to explain,
a police officer who explained to me that if I know that I'm within the law, I have the right to.
You are outside the law. So as I was trying to explain to you,
what part of me was outside the law?
Pennsylvania versus Mims.
This is Illinois.
Are you going to listen to me or no?
If you tell me the state of Illinois,
are you going to listen to me or no?
If you tell me the state of Illinois,
so your brother would have told you this. There's this thing that cops go by. Not only is the Constitution what we go by, there are case laws as well.
Yes,
case
sir.
law, which is Pennsylvania versus Mims, states that
this is Illinois.
upon a stop, I can actually stay out of the vehicle. You must do so. Failure to do so is potentially a arrestable offense. That's why I was trying to explain to you. But unfortunately, you try to talk about Illinois. Illinois is not the only thing that we have to adhere to.
I appreciate you educating me. Thank you.
Generally speaking, the officer explained that correctly. Basically, what happened is somebody named Mims, however long ago, sued the state of Pennsylvania for, it was an issue about that person getting out of the car or not. The United States Supreme Court ruled on that said, yeah, when given a lawful order, you do need to get out of the car. That's essentially what happened. And that applies, since it's a U.S. Supreme Court case, That applies to everyone, and it's a core fundamental sort of constitutional right here. It applies to everyone in the United States, including those in the great state of Illinois.
My issue with this officer is like to sit there and argue with somebody, whether or not you believe that they're under the influence of alcohol, that just like always grinds my gears. Like, what are you getting out of it?
Yeah.
You know, except like maybe feeding your ego. And like, it's just like, I don't know. You're like mansplaining case law to this woman on the side of the road. I just feel like there's such a better way that he could be handling this right now too. I
totally agree. I also think like it's really hard to do. Like I argue with my 3-year-old and afterwards I'm like, I mean, I'm right. They're wrong. Like why did I just argue so much, you know?
But what's the difference between a 3-year-old and a drunk adult?
Not much.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. So, but like afterwards, I'm like, I should have handled that better, you know?
Yeah. Who's to blame here, my 3-year-old or me?
It is me.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so I agree with everything you said. If I was a cop at 3:45 in the morning, as someone wanted to argue with me, I may engage. I may argue.
Yeah.
So, but I totally get it. I agree. It is better police work to maintain your upper hand in this and conduct your DUI investigation.
Right.
And because it makes no difference whatsoever whether this driver understands how the case, federal, U.S. court rulings affect her in this moment.
Yeah, from the police officer's perspective, I would assume that he's going to want her to do fields next. So wouldn't you want to have a better rapport with her than like a hostile, arguing, explaining one?
Yes. It's like, come on, please.
He was still mad at the door, so
yeah, you're right. He was mad at the door.
He's been fighting since he got out of the car.
He was mad since he fell out of the car awkwardly.
Instead of arguing with you, I'm going to ask you, please, will you put your shoes on so we can get in the minivan? Okay? Please?
But good. That way you don't end up going to jail immediately because I couldn't immediately just take you to jail. With that being said, when you were going westbound, I was going eastbound. You were moving at a high rate speed. That entire area is 35 miles an hour. You were doing 65. I finally caught up to you at McDonald and Randall Road. As you turned that way and I got behind you and chased you down that way, if you will. That area over there is 50. You stayed at about 68 until I stopped you up over here. The entire time, too, as you're proceeding southbound this way, you're weaving and you're actually riding on the center median.
That's terrible.
Were you aware of that?
As far as riding on the center median, I prefer that as opposed to riding on to the left and I'm so sorry.
And that's why you don't make statements.
I prefer to drive on a different area of the road that I'm legally allowed to. Thank you so much, officer.
That's why. I mean, we're laughing, right? Because that is funny. But she's driving intoxicated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know it's 3:45, but there are people out on the road. It is dangerous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The broader, viewers out there, they freak out sometimes when we're like laughing about this. I get it. It's not a funny situation. Drinking and driving is not. A lot of people are hurt and killed and get in a lot of trouble for it. But we can laugh in the context of like, this is not what you're supposed to do. This is like the exact opposite of the right way to handle the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Think about how she handled it at first. So you're this intoxicated and that's how you're going to approach the officer.
Right.
This is gradually just getting worse and worse.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Just because you prefer to ride on center median, per law, you cannot drive on the center median. 2, you also cannot drive on the white line because that's a fog line. Both those would be essentially violations, just so you do know.
So in the future, when it comes to the situation, if it is foggy, I am okay being on the center median.
No, the fog line literally dictates how far you're not to go. You're not supposed to even drive on a fog line, but you can use it as a guide. You're not supposed to drive on either one of them.
But if it's to the point where I'm being so violated by the lights in front of me, I mean, I'm sure you guys have both experienced with having somebody come on down the road where they've got those violent lights.
They're high beams is what you're referring to?
Violent lights.
Well,
the lights are violating her
I can no longer see even the white line.
Well, then you can act accordingly. Per today, none of that stuff you're allowed to do whatsoever.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to tell you? At no point in time you should be riding on the center median.
Okay.
With that being said, due to the things that I saw, my camera saw, because I had my camera on the entire daggone times behind you, I want to do some field sobriety tests, make sure you're fit to operate in a motor vehicle in a safe and orderly fashion. I really need to do that. Go. All
Is
right.
it okay if I take the heels off?
Yeah, you're smoking. You can do them in heels if you want to or without.
Okay, I
It's
would
totally up to
prefer
you.
to do it with-
What I want you to do is follow the tip of my finger with your eyes and eyes only. You're not going to move your body. You're not going to move your head. Do you understand the instructions?
Yes, sir.
Any reason why you can't do this exercise?
Yes, sir. No, there's no reason I can't do this exercise. I can't do this exercise, sir.
All right. Don't move your head.
The officer is checking for how jerky the eyes move laterally. The scientific term for this is horizontal gaze nystagmus. Jerky eyes accurately indicate impairment about 90% of the time.
Not in Illinois. In Illinois, it's ruled that they indicate.
Consumption.
Thank you very much.
Hands to the side.
Keeps
ma'am.
us in
I will
business.
keep my hands to my side. I'm just covering it a little bit more with the coat because I am cold.
That's why I told you could put on your gloves.
Thank you, sir.
All right. You put your shoes back on. All right, ma'am. Come step over here, please. What you're going to do for me, take your left foot, place it on the imaginary line, which it is. Take your right foot, place it in front of your left, touching heel to toe. Put your feet together. I have you there. I had you here.
No, you didn't. I'm not
Come here.
comfortable with taking this
Come
off.
here. There, you make it very, very difficult.
You're making me very nervous.
Get back into the starting position.
Yes, sir.
That's not the starting position, ma'am. Are you going to get back to the starting position,
I
ma'am?
am in the starting position, sir. Let's go.
That's not the starting position.
Let's go.
No,
let's
and
do
you know what,
this.
at this point, you know what? I'm tired.
Are you going to do it or not?
What is the starting position, sir? Please
Your
educate me.
feet touching heel to toe. Your right is in front of your left, and your arms are down to your sides.
Let's go.
Do you understand the instructions that I
Yes, sir.
explained?
Sir, yes, sir.
Is there any reason why you can't do this exercise? That's not the
sir.
starting position, ma'am. Keep your arms down to
I
the
am
side,
still
please.
in that starting position. May we begin, sir?
Do you understand the instructions?
I am in this position. All right, and what am I doing again? By all means, please.
You said you understood. I will not explain to you once more.
What? I'm sorry. What am I doing?
I've explained to you, ma'am. You said that you understood.
Okay, you know, I apologize. I did not understand. Can you please?
No. Next step, we're gonna do the walk. We're gonna do the one leg stand.
I am not going to follow along with this. You're more.
So either way, we're pretty confident that this DUI.
Yeah, she's getting arrested and charged with the DUI.
So why does the officer keep doing the fields?
To continue gaining evidence to use against her. I mean, it could be various reasons. Like, for example, I heard him say, okay, you could put your shoes back on now, and it sounded like she had heels. So us as defense attorneys could say, like, basically he forced her to put her heels back on and conduct this test when NHTSA says that if somebody's wearing heels, they should be allowed the opportunity to remove them. So we could poke holes in what he's done so far. So the more he has, the better the state and police case is going to be against her.
Right. And there's 3 standard field sobriety tests. If he only did one, a defense attorney like us could be in court going, this officer didn't even conduct all the field sobriety tests. He shortcutted this investigation, right?
Yeah.
So yes, they're gonna do all 3 as long as she's compliant in doing them. And it's not like I've seen them cut it off before when someone's like falling over
For their safety.
safe for their own
That's
safety.
what I was afraid with her, with getting in the instruction stance, and I saw cars coming this way, and she seemed like she was gonna fall.
Yeah, falling into the middle of the street when cars are coming would be bad.
Definitely.
I am not going to follow along with this. You're more than.
So you're not gonna do it anymore?
You're more than
Put your
welcome.
hand behind your breath. You're under arrest.
Hold on. Why are you?
Now that report, instead of instead of an attorney saying like, this officer didn't even conduct all the tests, it says he tried to conduct them. She then refused.
Yeah,
That's
she
when
literally said, "Fuck
That's what he.
you."
Yes. So he
Yeah.
was just waiting. He's just waiting for that, which is smart by the officer.
Put
You
your,
know what? I'm tested.
pull your arm away. Put your arm back. Put your arms back. This round, so you're gonna quit.
What?
You're under arrest.
What?
You're under arrest for DUI. Knock it off.
For what? You guys didn't ask me anything. My son.
Release your hands. Stop. Don't do that. Stop doing that. You did that to yourself. Stop.
You guys are not treating me like a human being and are answering the questions that I'm about.
Double lock
You're
it first.
detaining me.
Open your hands so she can double lock these so they don't sit down. Stop.
I should be provided.
Obviously, the first thing to go when you're intoxicated is your judgment, but you would think at some point you'd be like, what I'm doing and saying is not helping me.
I'm just sitting there hoping that she like spins out, breaks free, books down the road, gets
With her
away
heels.
with it. In her heels, yes, gone, never to be seen again.
Okay, Derek's got high hopes for this
Yeah,
one.
no, of course. But okay, right. But like that sounds ridiculous because it is. So like, Why isn't that going in her head? Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to get away from 3 officers.
From 3 trained
You're
officers
just-
while you're in handcuffs, like
Just lay
running
down.
like this.
Just lay down.
Yeah.
Just
You're not going to physically get away. And then
shut your mouth.
you're also not going to, like, verbally get away with this. Like, you're going
Yeah.
to talk them out of it. And the cops are
Right.
like, sorry, change of heart. Have a good
Yeah,
night.
you know what?
What did I do?
Spread your feet.
What did I do? Why am I being detained?
Search her, please.
Why am I being detained? What did I
Spread your feet.
Why am I being detained?
Young lady, knock it off and
Why
spread your
am
feet.
I not being provided the reasons I'm being detained?
You're under arrest, like I told
For
you.
what?
For DUI.
For why?
I just told you. Because you're drunk, you shouldn't be driving.
Who said that I was drunk? Just
Based on,
because of the fact
you are drunk. Based on the stuff that I saw, you could have killed somebody today. You have your day in court.
I'm genuinely just trying to ask you why you're asking me to walk a
over
specific way. I'm just genuinely asking why you're telling me to walk a specific way.
Okay, take a seat. Either you sit in there.
Yes, why do I have to do these? Yeah, it's just lack of comprehension there. You know what I mean? Denial. Like we see all the time. People go through like the stages of I don't even know what all the stages of grief are, but like people go through those stages pretty quickly and sometimes quickly. Yeah, you're right. Denial, right? Anger. All those things, right?
Then
Fear,
other people are like,
frustration.
yeah.
Yeah. The ones who've been down this road before, they're like, yeah, all right,
you
and
got
they-
me.
yeah. I mean, that is totally true. The first timers, which I'm gonna give this girl the benefit of the doubt, the first timer, because she's making first timer mistakes. Like first time being arrested, first time in DUI, first time really interacting with law enforcement, a lot of mistakes, obviously. That's why, why we're watching it, I suppose. But yeah, man, those people who have had plenty of arrests back in the day, cool as a cucumber, man. They don't say anything, they turn around, they don't fight them, and they know that they're gonna live to fight this case in court.
Put you in there. Close the door. Just don't you kick her. Don't
I'm
you
not
kick her.
kicking her.
Stop
I've never
kicking.
kicked her.
Stop kicking.
I've never kicked
You
her.
stop kicking right now. You're gonna get more charges. You need to knock it off. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. No.
Stupid. You saw her hit her head, right?
Yeah.
Fucking hey. Young lady, if you don't knock it, I'm gonna hobble you to this bench. Do you understand me? Because I'm gonna tie you to the bench.
I don't understand what's going on. Why am I being detained?
You are under arrest.
Because of why?
You are DUI.
Because of why? Nobody has explained to me genuinely what has happened.
Do you not understand what I'm telling you?
No, I
I've
don't.
explained things step by step to you multiple daggone times.
No, you have
I
not.
have.
My 3-year-old would get it by now.
Yeah, for
She'd
sure.
be like, okay, yeah. She's just a lack of comprehension.
Yeah, she's intoxicated.
Yes.
In fact, you have failed to do so.
I have not failed to do so.
Yes, you have.
Okay, I'm going to explain this to you one more daggone time. Your driver's
I'm sorry,
atrocious.
can I speak with someone
Nope,
else?
you're still with me.
I would like to speak with one of these two other
Nope,
officers.
they're deputies and I'm the one on the show.
You
they're
have
not.
shown me nothing but
Okay.
disrespect, and I have just been
We're done.
asking
We're
as
done.
to why
Put your foot back in the car, man. Do not start this. You're going to get extra charges. Put the foot back in the car.
I would like to speak with
Nope.
Officer Emmanuel Berger.
Who? We don't have any
Over here.
burgers. I don't know who that is. Put your feet in the car.
I would like to know why I'm being detained because I'm being forced.
You are under arrest.
Because of
We're
why?
done. I'm going to tell you right now. If you hit or kick anything, I'm
I'm
tying
not
you to this
hitting
bitch.
or
So knock it
kicking
off.
anybody or anything.
Done.
I would like to call my family. I would like to call my family. Hey! Let's go. I'd like to go home. As would you. This night we would both like to have over.
I agree, man.
Let's go.
Your name's Sheila, right?
I can let them know at the state what my name is.
I wouldn't do that, man. That's another charge.
Of what?
Obstructing.
Obstructing what?
Because you're failing to provide your proper information.
You're failing to ask me properly and how to handle me as a human being. You're
Okay.
in fact treating me as less than.
Okay, if
I
you
have
say
been
so,
abused
man.
and I have been beaten and my body is hurt because of what you and your team has done to me.
Okay,
That's fine. I have a really good lawyer. It's fine.
that's fine, man.
I want his number.
If he could get you out of this, I would like to learn from that
Yes,
person.
exactly.
I'm just thinking like all the kicking and whatnot. Okay, so now we've got some possible destruction of property charges going
Yeah.
on
Criminal
here.
damage to government property, it's a felony actually. If you did in fact like damage it.
Right,
Yep.
now trying to kick the officer.
Resisting ag bat to a PO, that's a
Yep.
felony.
It could be.
In addition to all the things she did before they pulled her over.
Yeah,
right,
right.
exactly. Yes. It's
Improper lane usage, speeding,
If
DUI.
she's got a lawyer that can get her on
Yeah.
this, we all have someone
Yeah.
to aspire to.
I'm
be.
hiring
Please
them.
call driver defense team
Immediately.
and provide us with a CLE.
Absolutely, sir. I also was born and raised on the laws of this state. Let's go.
And there was a bong in the car.
A bong?
I do not own a bong. I would like to admit that I've never owned a bong. So if anybody's saying that I own a bong or that there's a bong in my possession, it is a lie and a fallacy.
He says a
I've
bong in
never
your
owned a
car,
bong
Mel.
in my life.
Oh, sorry. It's a pipe.
There you go.
A pipe, I will accept that.
So you do
Got me
have
on
a
that.
pipe. Okay.
Pipe, yes, bong.
Well,
no.
he said the wrong thing, but apparently you do have a pipe because it's right there.
For Floyd.
Yeah.
Come here and pick me up.
Get who here, Mel?
So why we both saw that at the same time? Why is that significant?
Well, I mean, for one thing, she could have a gun in the car. So that's something that the officer might be concerned of, but she's already detained and they're already searching the car.
Right.
But the other thing is that obviously when you get charged with a misdemeanor or a felony, your FOID gets revoked. And then if you're, found not guilty, you can reapply for it, or even if you get put on like court supervision, then after your supervision's over, you can reapply for it. But
Yes.
these charges are going to make her lose her ability to carry a firearm legally.
Right. This, all states are different in terms of how they approach, gun laws, right? Illinois is pretty strict, right? And you have to have a firearm owner's identification card. That's what we just saw. To carry a weapon on you in public like this, even driving in your car, you need a concealed carry license. So in those things, the state, generally speaking, is quick to take those things away from you. In other words, take away your ability to own or possess or carry with you a firearm when you get some criminal charges, which makes some level of sense here. But each state's going to handle that differently. And Illinois is really strict with it, and that's why Kelly and all of us sort of immediately were like, "Oh, well, there goes her FOID probably."
Father.
He can get you in the morning, which actually be in a few hours. Store it in an evidence bag. I'll take it and put another bag.
Yeah, he can have it. It's all his.
I don't smoke, so I don't want it, man. Where was the bong? I mean, the pipe.
Glove compartment. No one was not in the glove compartment. Do not lie. Do not provide fallacy into the investigation. Provide truth and honesty as a police officer should.
I'm not a police officer.
You are a police officer. You are a police officer of
He's
the
not
law.
state, is he?
Is he
Are
a
you
dick
not?
cow?
No, I am a deputy.
And she's going to be like, it was in the center console, which is
Yeah,
admitting.
what does that matter?
I was
Right?
gonna say it's in the car. It doesn't,
Right.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I am a deputy.
A deputy of the law? So are you not a police officer of the law as a deputy, sir? What is a deputy of the law?
Again, like, why are you arguing
I would like the expectation to provide an evidence. I'm about to pee my pants.
Oh, no.
My urination is about to find a nation. I'm going to pee is in your back seat. I will
Don't
pull
you
my
daggone
pants out
pee in
and
my
piss on
car.
your seat.
Don't do that. It's another charge, man.
The state of Illinois will not let me go to the
I have to wait till they open the door. I can't
I
do
am
anything.
waiting for them. How long do I have to wait for
They
them
told me I
open
had
the
to
door?
wait. There's another officer in there unloading somebody, so I have to wait. Do not urinate on my seat.
I'm honestly at the point I'm getting pissed off because nobody's even giving me a DUI test. And nobody's even when it came down to it, I got pushed up and cuffed up to it. When it came down to me doing the DUI test instead of doing the DUI test, I got harassed. I've got a police officer on my end. I got a lawyer who's in my family. I'm more than happy. What is your name, officer?
I am Deputy Gregory.
Gregory what?
Deputy
What
Gregory.
What?
Deputy Gregory.
Gregory what?
I just told you.
Deputy Gregory.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Anybody would tell you need a facelift on your side gas?
I'll keep that in mind, ma'am.
As you should. And your first name is?
Deputy
For
Gregory.
Kane County Sheriff. And what county were you
County,
over in?
You just said it.
Are you sure where was it? Can you provide me the...
We're in Kane County.
We are in Kane County, yes, sir.
You've been in Kane County the entire time I've been dealing with you.
But I honestly feel like just you pulling me over in was not Kane County. What area were you pulling me over in? Now that we're sitting here with all this extra time on our hands, we can chit-chat.
You're in Kane County.
Are you absolutely sure about that?
Yes, I am.
What was the intersection and the road that you had pulled me over on?
Silver Glen and Randall.
Really? Because I don't remember being on Randall.
That's not good.
I crossed Randall. I was past Randall when you had pulled me over.
You were on Randall when you were going southbound, ma'am, like I explained to you.
Yes, but you did not pull me over on Randall. What road did you pull me over on?
Silver Glen and Randall.
No, you did not pull me over on Randall. Can I at least text my daddy?
Like I said, as soon as we get in, you'll be able to make phone calls, okay?
Please, because I'm not.
Next stage of grief, crying.
I have to wait on the jail, ma'am.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not the kind of girl who goes out at parties. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm sorry for being a bitch. I know I was being a bitch.
Regret?
Somebody look up the stages of grief.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what to expect.
This suspect, Sheila, was charged with 2 counts of DUI, resisting, obstructing, and disobedience of traffic control devices. She is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
She still blew at the station.
She did blow at the
Yeah.
station. How can you tell?
Because she's charged with an A1 DUI under the influence of blood concentration above a .08. That's the first charge.
So let's go through
Grades.
2 grades here. Let's start with the officer first. How did Deputy Gregory from Kane County Sheriff's Department do in this DUI investigation?
I'm gonna give him a C. I think that's too generous.
No, I was just my reaction. You go.
The reason why I'm not giving him lower is because at the end of the day, I feel like he did, get what he needed out of the interaction. He did get enough evidence to prove her guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of these charges as well as a slew of others. The reason why I'm not giving him like an A or a B is just based on his attitude. Like he was hot right away. I don't understand arguing, going back and forth with her, like trying to explain the law to her, especially when you realize like for sure that she was under the influence. That was just a wasted time. I think it made him look unprofessional. I think he would have been better off just kind of staying silent and just conducting his investigation professionally. So that's why I'm on the middle of the road there.
All right, Megan?
I think a C is fair. I think, just like Kelly said, he got out of the car a little hot. He was mansplaining. I think he wasted a lot of time by entertaining her. That kind of matching energy was unnecessary. He definitely had the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe I'm too much of a mansplainer myself, but I was gonna go like, B+ here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, he got his job out. Nobody got hurt. I don't think he slammed her on. I don't think he was
No.
excessively, rough or anything with her. Nobody got hurt. He conducted a DUI investigation. He got a drunk driver off the street. He's gonna get, a good outcome on this case. It was a legit arrest, I think. That's a B+ work. I do agree with you in terms of his explaining, his mansplaining. I agree with you. I'm just not marking him down quite as much. I'm like, we see some crazy cops out there doing some unlawful, violent things, and this deputy's nowhere near that. So
Yeah, I agree with that. I just don't understand like this super annoyed attitude. It's like, this is your job. I mean, people are drunk. I think he probably deals with way worse. I think he kind of made the situation worse.
Can we cut that and play it back to Kelly next time she's annoyed with the client?
Yeah, right.
Then how about the girl, the driver? Kelly, you want to give a grade there?
I'm going to give her an F. She was way intoxicated and shouldn't have been driving in the first place. Her driving was atrocious. I mean, I'm happy that she got pulled over so that she didn't hurt somebody and we weren't watching a different video.
Mm-hmm.
Her attitude as soon as the officer approached was just stupid, just flat out stupid. She was under the influence. You're going to argue with an officer? That's just dumb, especially when the officer did have the right to pull her out. She did the field. She admitted to drinking. Her speech was super slurred, bad attitude, asking questions over and over and over again, the same questions. Then after you are arrested, resisting, kicking the squad, threatening to pee in the back of the squad, just awful. Even if she didn't blow, like we said, like we never would have been able to win this DUI. So she did herself zero favors and made really bad decisions and put other people in danger. She said she had a child. She said she drove her girlfriend home, you know, so she's putting a lot of people in danger by her choices. So for all those reasons, I would say an F.
Megan?
Is there anything worse than the F? I don't like. Did
minus,
she?
yeah.
It was terrible. She did
Right.
everything wrong.
Yeah. I agree. I'm going F. The only thing I can think of that would make it like an F minus would be if she did drive off in that car. Like when she was in the, like she threatened to, you know what I mean? But literally, other than that, I cannot think of anything else that she could have done worse. Like this is a textbook video for us to watch and react to of how not to do it. First of all, don't drive drunk in the first place. And then when you do and you get pulled over, don't handle it like this. Like every single thing wrong to the point where we were laughing. Like, you know what I mean? And like you just sometimes see like it's like here's what you're supposed to do. You're all the way over here. And so sometimes you do laugh at those things, even though it's overall not a laughing matter. So a big fat F for her. All right, guys, there you have it. This is a textbook example of what not to do. So it was a bit entertaining, but I also hope you learned some lessons on how you should not conduct yourself if you are ever the subject of a DUI investigation. Thanks for watching.